What's going on, Conjure House family? Welcome to the next episode of Conjure House Files 5 to 10 with Conjure House. Tonight's episode is in regards to emotional triggers, spiritual triggers. It's basically what triggers you episode. I came across this topic after being on Instagram. I noticed that there are a lot of people that post, opinion. They post facts. They post things that they like. They post things that are controversial, even whether it's politics, religion, or just things going on that the media is reporting about. But what I noticed and what I realized is there are some things that are triggering people that they shouldn't be initially triggered by. And one of the things that I find is that they are being triggered because of a lack of understanding, a lack of comprehension, a lack of taking the time to listen, pay attention, and evaluate. The other side of emotional triggers that I noticed comes from those that I work with in readings, doing spiritual spell work for my clientele, some of the guys that I'm cool with and close to. So I wanted to take this time and make the Conjure House Files video to cover this topic and to give you all some ideas of things that can be done in order to help you overcome those emotional triggers. One of the first areas that I find that people get emotionally triggered by the most is family, family, loved ones, and relationships. So I want to take a moment to cover this because it's one of the biggest areas that affects our life, because our family relationships, or the lack thereof, can constitute how we react to other people and to society as a whole, even in the arena of social media. When it comes to family, what I find is one of the best ways to deal with the emotional triggers that can come from family is to essentially remove that family from your life. You know, with, for example, my father, he's one of those people that, based on the advice that he gave me throughout life, I shouldn't be sitting here making this video. I should be winding down from a 9 to 5. I should be, uh, taking a shower, getting ready for bed, so that I can go back to the grind the next day. Now, when he told me these things while I was trying to find my entrepreneurial spirit, it was one of those things that hurt, because he worked a 9 to 5, but he also ran a successful men's clothing business. And for him, it was like, hey, you're not going to not be able to work a job and, just only have a business. You're going to have both, and you're going to have to find the time to do both, or you won't be successful in life. Now, given that this was a time when computers were still new, and all of this technology hadn't picked up, it caused a lot of emotional triggers when people told me I couldn't do something, when people doubted, if I didn't have enough likes, if I didn't have follows, if people weren't, responding immediately to something. I would get emotionally triggered because of the things that he would say. One day, while finding my voice, and essentially after I found my voice, I talked to him and I said, hey, look, this is the things that have happened since we haven't talked in 2 years, and I'm doing very well. And his basic immediate reaction was, oh, well, hey, you can help me out. He started asking for money, asking for loans. After my mother passed, it was a thing of, oh, well, now I can fall back on you because the views that I had on life, they were very archaic. They didn't work out, but you can save me from the things that I tried to push off on you. And what I realized in that moment was, even though, hey, I don't make $1 million and it's not really my main purpose to make $1 million doing this, I realized that I made it. I realized that the things that he said didn't cause emotional triggers for me. Letting him go and, taking time to myself to go find who I needed to be and live my life and make my own mistakes and do the things that I needed to do was one of the best things that I could do. So when it comes to family, one of the best ways to remove the emotional trigger is to remove the problem. Now, if you're emotionally triggered, you do want to sit down and figure out if they are causing it, or if you have an unwillingness to grow and listen that is causing it. But either way, you want to be fair to their side and you want to be fair to your side. But in the end, because we are still individuals, you have to pick your side. Once you do that, it takes a lot of time to sit down and heal from those things. Write out what you need to do. Write out how you can make it better, how you're not going to do that here, or how you're not going to take the things that they said and did to you and allow those things to be triggers in your love life, in your social life, in your work life, and in your spiritual life. Get rid of the parasite. Get rid of the problem. Take the time, write down things so that you can analyze who you are and where you're headed and what you need to do. Now, that's what it takes with family. When it comes to love, like a relationship, you both have to sit down together. And if you're not really willing to do that, then you're going to continue those emotional triggers. But what triggers you with your mate? Can it be resolved? Can it be where you let them have their time to vent and get it out, and when they've got it and they're back and calm, then you can do that? Do you need time to vent? Do you have hobbies, things that you can do separately so that you don't trigger each other? But all of these things, when it comes to emotional triggers, the main concept is to get to the root of why, and if you can control it, fix what you can control. Take control of what you can control. If there's an aspect that you cannot control, then remove it from your life until it can dissipate, or until you can find a way, or the other party that's causing the trigger can find a way to resolve it. Now, when it comes to social media, when it comes to dealing with people, there's things in social media that, hey, you got a block button. Block them. If they're trying to trigger you and you believe in what you say, don't back down. Sometimes emotional triggers are caused by the belief that you don't have the power to say what you want to say. They come from a place that you feel powerless. So the only thing you can do is to lash out or try to be angry and bark and scream and whatever you need to do to back people down so that you don't seem weak. So you need to know what these triggers are. And again, look internally, look externally, write things down, remove the problem once you identify it, take time to yourself, meditate, relax, focus, and then step forward into the light and accept what it is. Acceptance of the triggers will allow you to take the time to properly remove them. So I hope this helps you guys. If you want me to extend this video to, a second video, I'll be happy to do that. Follow my channel, follow, my advice, I hope, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for everything that you do for me. Peace out.